Good morning, Year 4. So we are going to have a look today at features of a balanced argument, ready for you to apply the learnt features in your writing later in the week. But before we do that, just a bit of a grammar and punctuation activity. We're going to just have a look at some word classes. So I'm just going to set you a challenge. So what I want you to do is to get either a highlighter or a pen, pencil, and you are going to see how many verbs, adjectives, adverbs and nouns you can highlight. Okay, so just have a look. It's just to get you to warm up thinking about different word classes that we use in our writing. So if you pause the video maybe for 5 minutes, spend 5 minutes looking for verbs, adjectives, adverbs and nouns. Remember, a verb is an action word. Let's just look for a verb together. So a verb is an action word, something that can be done. So let me have a look. There we go, completed. That's something you can do quite often. A past tense verb ends in ed, we know that. Adjectives are describing words. So let's have a look for a describing word. Oh, I can't find one. I'm sure you found one quicker than I have. Oh, there we go, modern. Modern day life is describing modern. And adverbs, remember they usually end in ly, but not always. Let's see if we can spot it. I'm using my scanning techniques here now, instead of reading through it again. Let me see on the next page. There we go, there's one. Equally or actually. And nouns. So remember, a noun is a naming word. Let's have a look. So homework. Homework's a noun, it's the name of a thing. So pause the video for 5 minutes, see if you can highlight some of them now. Okay, so that is just to get you to think about using a range of word classes, which we naturally do in our writing anyway, and it's just helping us to recap on different word classes. Now, what we are looking at today in literacy is highlighting the features. So I have listed some here. So we need the title of the argument. It needs to be written formally. Okay, so when we've spoken about writing formally and informally before, it needs to have reasons for and against and your concluding paragraph. But then I've also put, thinking about the way in which we're going to write, conjunctions. That's something we've looked at this week. There should be lots of conjunctions, and our sentences should be opened in different ways. Now, if we are writing a balanced argument, we need to think about the purpose and the audience. So who are we writing it to? So if we are writing about zoo animals, who is going to read it? Our audience may be people who work at the zoo. It may be people who are interested in animals and animal cruelty and avoiding animal cruelty. It might be people who are thinking about visiting the zoo or visiting the circuses and deciding whether they think it's safe for animals to be held. Okay, and the purpose is to almost inform. You're giving both sides of the argument. You're not telling them, you're not trying to persuade them, you're just giving them both sides. So it's a balanced argument, it weighs the same. We're giving both sides of the argument for them to make a decision themselves once they have been informed. So let's have a look at some of the features. So first of all, really easy. We've got the title, Should Homework Be Banned? Okay, and let's have a look. I'm looking for reasons for and against first of all. So should homework be banned? So if it's for, it's saying yes, homework should be banned. So here we've got children are entitled to a break. That's telling it's for. They spend all day at school, so they need a few hours downtime. And then reasons against. So we're saying it shouldn't be banned. It's important. It's an important part of school life. And it helps their knowledge and understanding. Okay, let's see if we've got our concluding paragraph. Yes, here, in conclusion. And in your conclusion, it should have a mixture of both. Okay, right. Now we're going to go and read over it because we've already been able to highlight some of the features without reading it. Now we're going to read it and see if we can spot any more. So I am not going to highlight any more of the features now, but as I am reading, you might want to do so. Should homework be banned? Anyone who has ever been to school knows what it is like to be sent home with piles of homework. For years, teachers have been setting extra maths, spellings and other activities to be completed outside of regular lesson times. But with the increasing pressures of modern day life, there is a growing call for homework to be banned. Here are some of the arguments for and against. Many people see homework as an important part of school life, almost like an extension of the lesson. If the teacher cannot fit everything that is needed to be taught into the lesson, then being able to set homework is essential. This way, pupils can continue their learning at home, which helps their understanding and knowledge of the subject. On the other hand, aren't children entitled to a break from learning? After spending all day at school, a few hours downtime spent watching television, playing computer games or exercising outside is important for a healthy, fun-loving child. In fact, the government's own health guidelines recommend people aged between 5 to 18 should exercise for at least 60 minutes a day. Where are children going to fit that in if they are busy doing homework every evening? While there are a lot of people that understand that argument, the fact remains that children go to school to be educated, and many parents welcome the chance to support their child's education at home. Practicing spelling or helping their child read gives parents the opportunity to play a part in their child's learning. It also gives them a clearer understanding of how their child is progressing. Equally, a lot of children enjoy doing homework with their parents. Why introduce a ban if some parents and children actually enjoy it? The flip side of the argument is that many parents feel overwhelmed with the amount of homework their child brings home. With so many after-school activities and clubs on offer, they feel there isn't enough time to fit everything in. Furthermore, parents sometimes feel unable to help their child as the work is too hard or on a subject matter they are not familiar with. In conclusion, there are many strong arguments for and against banning homework from schools. If it helps a child's education, then surely homework is a good thing. Then again, time away from studying to play is also incredibly important to a child's well-being. I don't believe homework should be banned because it is really an important part of learning. However, I also believe there should still be time in the day for fun. Therefore, perhaps schools should come up with a compromise to keep homework but don't set so much. Okay, so that's a very well written argument. And something that you might want to take away from that, something that I think is quite important, is they have used a question, a rhetorical question, aren't children entitled to a break? And they've also used statistics and facts, okay? Which makes people think, oh, well, if it's factual, it must be true. And this one is written from the government. So you might want to magpie for that for your own writing. So what I want you to do now is highlight any of the features, magpie some of those ideas that you think may be useful to your writing on Friday.